Hello and welcome. You're watching this special show, NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. It's time to preview India versus South Africa. It's a do-or-die game for the men in blue. Yes, they need to win this match to go through to the semi-finals. After a wake-up call against Sri Lanka, Virat Kohli will be facing the toughest battle of his nascent ODI captaincy career when defending champions India take on South Africa in that do-or-die virtual quarter-final today at the Oval in London. Both teams have done the opposite in the tournament thus far. India have defeated Pakistan and lost to Sri Lanka, whereas the Proteas have defeated Sri Lanka and lost to Pakistan. South Africa have a reputation of crumbling in ICC tournaments. They're known as chokers. We will certainly hope they choke today. But remember, they have to battle against India, but they also have to fight against their chokers tag. The weather forecast, though, is predicting a chance of rain later in the day. For now, though, I believe it's sunny at the Oval. Remember, if the match does get washed out, India would advance to the semi-finals on a better run rate. Listen in to some reactions coming in ahead of their big clash. Virat Kohli speaking out ahead of the match. We also have a reaction from Team South Africa.
The teams will play, with 120% commitment and with full passion, and it'll be a great game to watch as well for all the viewers and for the players to be a part of it as well. You get to test how good you are in situations like these. And as a cricketer, honestly, personally, for me, I crave games like these. You want to be a part of matches that are as important as this one. And then if you perform in that and your team gets across the line, it's a different feeling. It improves you as a cricketer. So everyone looks forward to games like these, and everyone in the team is very excited for it. I think you need to have a good balance of being competitive, being passionate about the game, but at the same time not getting overexcited. I think the team that treats the game as normal as possible is the team that's in a better position to, get the right result. A lot of times teams come in and they want to, do something special and end up messing up, the game in important situations. The team that can have most composure, I would say, to sum it up, will have a better chance of winning.
Match bring to the players?
Well, I think if you say if India go out, it's the current holders, and I think if South Africa go out, it's probably the world's #1 side. We've been playing some consistent cricket over the years, so it's two fantastic sides, a magnificent sort of venue to play it at, and it is a quarter-final. It is a group match, but we've both made it quarter-finals. I think both camps will be feeling that they didn't take advantage of the situation that they were in. So both sides are under pressure, and it's just who deals with that pressure and who comes forth. I think big thing is there's a lot of players that have played together and against each other in the South African India side through the IPLs and different competitions. So it's going to be a really, really good clash, and one that the South Africans are really looking forward to.
Well, in fact, let's go across very quickly to London now, where our correspondent Vinod Lamba has filed this ground report ahead of the big game today.
It's a big fight for Team India against South Africa in Oval. Let's talk to the fans what they are expecting from Team India today.
Lots of runs and of course win. We want India to make lots of runs, lots of firework, and we all go happy home today.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I want to see Kohli to score 100 today, and then.
But are you nervous after the Sri Lanka match?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm confident India can make it to the next semi-final, and then it's going to be Bangladesh versus India, and then hopefully next Sunday I'm going to see England and...
You are predicting all the matches now, but let's win first against South Africa.
Today surely India.
Who is your favorite player in this team?
Pandya.
Pandya is a star for you, but he didn't bowl last match well.
Pandya, he played well in the match
I think so, he did play well.
So he will play today. Is going to play good cricket today?
Yes, he will.
What you are expecting from this match? It's a tough match. It's a do or die match for Team India.
Yeah, it is. But what we need is a good opening partnership. We just need to be more faster in scoring, because last two games our run rates have been under 5 for the first 15 overs. They have to try and get more runs in the first 15 overs.
South Africa is a big team. It's not like Pakistan. It's not like Sri Lanka. It's going to be tough for Team India.
It is going to be very tough. They've got strong players, AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis, and strong bowlers as well. So Indian batsmen need to perform really good today.
Well, let's open this up now. In fact, joining us live in our studios is former Indian cricketer and former Team India coach Anshuman Gaikwad. Also with us live in our studios is cricket writer and scholar Martin Jha. Former cricket commentator Kishore Bhimani is joining us live from Kolkata this afternoon. We also have Sabah Karim, former Indian cricketer and former Indian selector, who will be joining us shortly from London. In fact, I'm being told we have that connection through with Sabah, so I want to go straight across to him first. Sabah, how big is this test for Virat Kohli today? As a captain, as a player?
Well, I think this is the biggest test of Virat Kohli's captaincy, because this is a big event, this is an ICC event, and this is the Champions Trophy. And India at one stage, after beating Pakistan, it seemed as if India would cruise into the semi-finals. But that upset against Sri Lanka has created a lot of issues for the Indian side. So I think they need to analyze before this all-important encounter. I'm sure they have done that already. The team management along with the captain need to sit together and work out a plan so that they're able to beat South Africa. I do feel that they have the right kind of resources in the side. I'm expecting one or two changes in the playing 11 today against South Africa. But overall, I still feel that India has an edge over South Africa, and I expect India to win today. So that they can qualify for the semi-final.
So you are, of course, saying that there are changes in the playing 11 expected. You know, we're moments away from the toss as we speak, when we will, of course, get to know the final team. But Anshuman Gaikwad, are we expecting R. Ashwin to play in the 11 today? It's crucial. And who do you feel could be dropped then?
Well, Uday, to be very frank, I expected him to play in the last game, you know, because the Sri Lankans had so many left-handers. So off-spinner is an ideal bowler, and with Ashwin, a quality bowler, and with his variation, I'm sure he would have been a lot more useful in not only stopping the runs, but even picking wickets. But here, this match, I still feel that Ashwin should come in, because he's, again, a lot of experience. And like we always say that, you know, like the batsman, you have to create partnerships that helps the team. Similarly, you know, you're talking about bowling. Bowling also has to go in partnership. The pressure has to be there from both ends. And that's the only chance that you have to pick up wickets.
Do you agree, Martin? Because the fact is, as Virat Kohli has said, and several other analysts as well, the fact is there's no doubt that our batting has been at par. 5 on 5, I think we need to give our batsmen. Wherever there's been, of course, something lacking, it's been the fielding and possibly the bowling department.
Yes, India is one of the best fielding sides, but sadly in the past 2 matches, we haven't seen that kind of fielding that is expected from them. Secondly, I feel Virat Kohli is a big match player. In the last match, if you see, he was out on a duck. This match, he has to score runs.
Okay, so over-dependency on Virat is a possibility as well. Just stay with us. We're getting breaking news now coming in from the Oval. The toss has happened and India has won the crucial toss today. So finally, a toss going in Team India's favour, and they've chosen to field. That's the latest coming in from the Oval. Kishore Bhimani, your first reaction?
My first reaction is a great toss to win. And India really need to get out from what happened last time around. All the bowlers managed was 1 wicket. There were 2 runouts and 1 retirement. If you in a 3.5 hours you take just 1 wicket, the bowlers will have to do some very, very hard thinking. What it has meant today, that because of the what happened in the last match, India go into this match with diminished momentum. This is very, very sad. The momentum that picked up with the victory against Pakistan has gone, and India go in this with perhaps a little bit worried. I would tend to think that I would have made India favourites against South Africa. I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure now, because India have to overcome that. I don't know, you haven't mentioned the team, but I suppose Kedar Jadhav must be out and Ashwin must be in. That's what I've been thinking from last night. But it's a tough match, very, very tough match.
Yeah, even as we await to get the team, the final team status for the match today, Sabah, very quickly, how crucial is this encounter against South Africa for Team India? It's a do-or-die situation, as I said on the start of the show. Sabah, your take on our team balance today, and on the South African team balance?
Well, now I think India has come to a stage where you need to prepare for a very crucial encounter. So whether it is South Africa, whether it is Bangladesh, it does not matter. I think you need to look at your own strength. You need to weed out those weaknesses which we saw in the last game against Sri Lanka. South Africa, on the other hand, they will also be under some kind of pressure. Having lost the last game to Pakistan, the batting didn't come good, and the bowling, I think apart from Moni Mokal, was quite listless. So I expect a very good encounter in this game between India and South Africa. Having said that, I do feel that India needs to put that loss against Sri Lanka away and work out again on a different kind of a platform so that they're able to compete and do well and win against South Africa.
Okay, time to get now the team changes. We're getting more breaking news coming in with regards to the final team for the match today. And the news coming in is that for Team India, there is one change. R. Ashwin comes in to the side today. So that, of course, is the big news coming in. And who goes out? Well, interestingly, it's Umesh Yadav. So Umesh Yadav goes out and R. Ashwin comes in. When you bat second, you know what you need to do, says Virat Kohli, depending on what the bowlers offer us. Keeping in mind that they have 3 left-handers, they have made this change. So, Anshuman Gaikwad, your first reaction to that change made by Team India?
Uday, I think it is quite sensible. I think this should have been done earlier. But anyway, like Virat always believes that, they're horses for courses. And that's what he has probably chosen. And rightly so, I think, because you've already got 2 medium pace and genuine, and you have the third one in Hardik Pandya. Then you have 2 spinners. So you've got 5 genuine bowlers who can do the job. Not unlike the last game where we had only 4. Now, having won the toss, I think probably India has got better chance, especially if you think of it, it's going to rain, later in the day. But leaving that aside as well, India always and Virat always like to chase the target, and the wicket doesn't change much. So I think it's a slight advantage for India as well.
Indeed, and as far as Team South Africa go, AB de Villiers is saying that he possibly would have liked to have bowled first, but he's happy to bat as well. And there's one change for Team South Africa. Pelu Quavo comes in place of Wayne Parnell. So Parnell goes out and Pelu Quavo comes in the South African side. Now, Martin, the fact is, Team India, have posted a great score in the last game. Unfortunately, that was not enough. South Africa managed to chase it down. Sri Lanka managed to chase it down with subsequent tees. Do you feel that determined the toss today, or is it purely based on weather?
I think it's purely based on weather. Secondly, India is a great chaser. If you see in the last 5-6 years, is Virat Kohli. He's also a great chaser. If he has to make runs, he has to make big runs today. We have seen India has not been finishing that well. In the last 10 overs, we should aim to chase, more than like 100 runs. India has been good chasers, and I think this match India is going to win.
Indeed, and we'll just talk about the fielding in just a bit with Kishore Bhimani, but coming back to Sabah Karim, if I can. Okay, we'll just go to Sabah in just a bit. I'm being told that line, we've lost that line. But Kishore Bhimani, the fact is the fielding will really need to be strong today. We've seen that a bit lackluster in the last match as well. The first match was an absolute disaster. I mean, Virat Kohli said that as well. The last match, it did improve, but it still left a lot to be asked for. Do you feel that needs to be at par today? The fact is, this is a virtual quarter-final. If we lose today, we go out of the tournament. It will have to be, every department of the game will have to be 5-on-5, Kishore Bhimani.
Well, I really believe what you mentioned about fielding is very important. We'll have to field in the air and on the ground. We'll have to field better. India will have to field better. But the other thing which I also believe, Uday, is very important is that the top batsmen on either side, AB de Villiers on that side, Kohli on this side, have not really been striking. And today, if AB de Villiers strikes, I really worry about him because he is a fantastic batsman. Then it will be probably spurring on Kohli to even better deeds. Kohli is a great batsman, one of the greatest I've seen in the last 40 years that I've covered cricket. And if he comes right, I think things will be all right. The fact that we are chasing, in the face of possible Duckworth-Lewis, well, I think all the odds are in favor of India.
Do you feel there was over-reliance, as Martin was pointing out, on Virat Kohli as well? The fact is, he had a very dismal score last game. He was out for a duck. And do you feel that affected Team India's morale?
Not really. No, I don't think. When you see, everybody's talking about Virat or de Villiers, like Kishore was talking about AB de Villiers. Now, the fact remains, these are the players who are big time, and they are the ones who have been performing consistently, and that's why their name keeps coming up, and people still, rely on those names because they are the ones who are doing consistently. But that I don't think happens all the time. Getting a 0 in the last game, Uday, I think that's not something that should worry, because these are the guys. You talk about De Villiers, talk about Virat, you talk about all these big time guys. They have the best of abilities. They have class in them. And once you have a class, you can have a bad day, sure. You can have a bad patch, sure. But they are the guys who can come back very strongly. And you'll never know. With both these guys, you might see a big innings.
And the fact that they've decided to remove Umesh Yadav in place of Jadhav, as predicted, Martin, do you feel that's been done deliberately to ensure that we have our batsmen in order, not to have one less batsman in place of an additional bowler?
Yes, Ashwin needed to come into the side. Secondly, making Shami into the side, it was a desperate change. I don't think it should have been done. Indian pace attack was doing good. This change was purely because India lost out to Sri Lanka. Now they want to show that we are making changes into the team, so that next time if India loses this match, nobody can point out fingers that why didn't you play Ashwin, why didn't you try a different bowler.
But the fact is, the fact that they've decided to sit out Yadav in place of Jadhav, how do you look at that? Is that done purely because they need another batsman? Pandya had his place in the side after his first match showing, but there were question marks on Jadhav being raised.
See, India has a very strong batting lineup. You see, if Kedar Jadhav is already, getting very few balls to play. I feel India has enough of the batting. It is because of the fielding, as Sir was mentioning, and because of the bowling that India lost out. And India is making those changes to correct that.
Okay, so they are making the changes to have, of course, an extra bowler in the lineup. Of course, today we're getting further breaking news coming in. Before we also get in a ground report from the national capital, we're getting further breaking news regarding the weather, which is an all-important, crucial aspect of the game in England. Let's go across to that. No rain expected today at the Oval. Clear sunshine for the time being. We are expecting a full 50 overs game. So Kishore Bhimani, some happy news coming in from the Oval there. Full 50 match over expected today. Full 50 match game expected for both teams today, which is something very rare in England, I think.
God bless the weatherman. And God bless the English weather, at least.
Let's hope he's right as well. God bless him for the timing, but let's hope he's right.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so Simar is joining us from the national capital as well. He's got some fans with him. Simar, we've seen a lot of excitement in London. Our correspondent Vinod Lamba was taking us through the fans over there who've made who've taken that long flight to London. How are fans in India reacting today? It's a do-or-die game. What are fans telling you? Over to you.
Well, yes, Uday, it's a very big match today. It's a do-or-die game for India, and I am here at Guest Minister in Essex Farm, and you can see there are a lot of fans. Well, it's a treat for the Indian cricket fans. As it's India versus South Africa, it is no less than a quarter-final. The team who wins will go to the semi-final, and it's such a treat for them. And we can't estimate that South Africa can be chokers. They're named as chokers, but that cannot be named in this case because they have a lot of potential to beat India also, and the fans are very much aware about that. Now let's talk to some of the fans and see what they have to say. Sir, India और South Africa का match है, and it's the quarter final. In fact, the team go to the semi final. What do you think? Who will win today?
India! 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 Chakta India!
Well, what do you think, ma'am? After the India Sri Lanka game, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, हम लोगों ने अच्छा टोटल बनाया, उसके बाद भी हार गए. आज आपको लगता है कि ऐसा कुछ होगा या हम लोग फिर जीत जाएंगे?
India is going to win!
India! India!
आप बताइए सर, आपकी अगर
इंडिया
सर इफ रेन्स कम इनटू द नोटिस, अगर रेन आती है आज बारिश होती है, तो आप क्या उससे डिसअपॉइंट होंगे? बिकॉज लास्ट टाइम हम देखा है कि रेन का भी इम्पोर्टेंट रोल होता है यहाँ पे. व्हाट डू यू से?
डेफिनेटली डिसअपॉइंट होंगे, क्योंकि मैच तो एक ऐसी चीज है जो सब लोग वेट करते हैं. एंड बीइंग संडे, एवरीबडी इज एट होम, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू सी द मैच. And everybody wants to see that India should win this match again.
Who will score the century today?
Sorry?
कौन century मारेगा?
आज रोहित सेंचुरी मारेगा.
So as you can see, there are a lot of predictions going on, and there's a lot of excitement in the people. They are already making predictions that India will win today. Rohit Sharma will gonna play very good and score a century.
Well, let's certainly hope for that. Let's certainly hope for that. But let's get a weather update from Sabah Karim as well. I'm being told he's back live with us. Sabah, how do you see the weather conditions panning out there? We are hearing it is clear for the time being. And how do you see the pitch in the Oval also today? Will it support Team India?
Hopefully, I think this India should get a full game, because that's the that should be good for both the sides. Having said that, the kind of wicket which I saw in the last game, I'm sure the groundsman will continue to have the same wicket for today's encounter also. So if that happens, I expect a little bit of wear and tear. The wicket looks very hard to me, but this is a chaseable ground. This is a chaseable wicket. So I think it is better to field first, try and restrict the opposition, and then chase down the target.
Okay, we're getting further updates now coming in with regards to the pitch there. The pitch is likely at the Oval to assist pacers with a swing up front. Batsmen will be determined to stay in and hang in there to get the runs flowing. Now, this is very interesting news coming in, Anshuman Gaikwad, and your first reaction to it, given the fact that South Africa is batting first.
Well, you've got to obviously take advantage of the situation, whatever best you can. And that's why probably, if this forecast is correct, that's why probably Bhunesh Kumar has been retained in the side. He hasn't done so well, hasn't picked up so many wickets. Even think of the last game.
Yeah.
But looking at the situation and the conditions, surely they have to make use of that. Not bowl too short and too wide, not give too much of room, and make use of the conditions. And always, even the match again is being played on the same wicket as in the last game. There would be freshness in the wicket, which you need to take advantage of and try and get breakthroughs for the team.
Okay. Kishore Bhimani, there have been injury scares as well for South Africa earlier in the year. The fact is, AB de Villiers was out for injury. He hasn't had a very good form, be it in the T20s earlier in the IPL, nor, of course, in the last game of the ICC Champions Trophy. We had seen Duminy out earlier in the year. We had seen de Kock also out for injury. We had seen du Plessis out for injury as well. So the fact is, there have been injury woes that Team South Africa has faced earlier in the year, if we talk about 2017 and the run-up to ICC goals.
Yeah, somehow this seems to affect the South Africans. To me, the key players in South African team, ABD of course must come back to form for them to really strike. But du Plessis, Faf du Plessis and de Kock. De Kock is an explosive batsman when he gets going. He hasn't really got going. Amla is really a steady batsman. They play around him. But if today Faf du Plessis, their strength is in the top 4. If 2 or 3 of them strike, they will put up a big challenging total for India. Injuries, well, at the moment they don't have anything. Rabada and Imran Tahir, the 2 key bowlers, are very much there. Morning Morkel was there, of course. I don't know the team today, but I suppose Morkel will be playing. But I don't think they have any major problems in this match.
Okay. Before I come to predictions from our panel, Anshuman Gaikwad, we got news coming in from London that the team had special practice sessions to face Morning Morkel's bowling. Morning Morkel's bouncers and his pace of bowling. There were special team sessions specifically for that. So they're getting up, not leaving anything to chance.
Well, these things, everyone has their own views and approaches and, planning. Now this, I think, Morkel's thing, yes, he's a great bowler. There's no question about it. He has the advantage of high release, he's tall and gets that awkward bounce. But at the same time, the advantage the Indians would have that Morkel has already played in the IPL. So they know what kind of a bowler he is, what balls does he choose to bowl and where. And where does he take the wickets from? So these are the things which I think, okay, practicing is fine, but I feel, Uday, you look at the Indian team and the South African, you look at the batting of both the teams, look at the bowling of both the teams, they're all balanced. What is going to make a big difference, according to me, today, is going to be fielding, the ground fielding and the catching.
Okay, Martin, how much should we restrict South Africa to? What should be the strategy of the bowlers? They'll need early wickets as well. What should be the strategy of Team India in the first innings?
In the first innings, India should try to get out both the openers, because as Mr. Bhimani was mentioning, both Quinton de Kock and Hashim Amla, they are both great batsmen. And if they will settle in, they will make, I think, more than 100 runs. they are going to target Indian bowlers because it's a do or die situation for both India and South Africa, and India should try to restrict them under 300.
Okay, under 300 definitely, and take a wicket, disrupt the opening partnership in the first 10 overs. Kishore Bhimani, your prediction, on what Team India's strategy should be in the first innings. We're great, of course, at chasing. Let's hope, that is something that our batsmen, of course, can do easily. But what should be the strategy for the first innings is a crucial question, Kishore.
Well, for the first time, my heart and mind agree on the fact that India should win this match. Everything has gone right for them. They've taken Ashwin back. A lot of us who are Ashwin fans against the left-handers and so on, he'll do okay at the Oval. He'll enjoy the wicket. No great spinners enjoy. Spinners don't, as a rule, enjoy this. But I think Ashwin will do well today. If he cannot take wickets, he'll restrict the left-handers. Anyway, let's see. But surely India to win today.
Okay, and Anshuman Gaikwad, they may be the best ranked side, but they're known to choke and not perform well at big tournaments. We'll certainly hope that happens today again.
I hope, I'm sure, every De Villiers would be, and the players would be thinking the same, that they would like to get rid of this image of being chokers. But, well, today is a fresh day. You don't know what's going to happen. And I feel that, India should be able to restrict them around 270, 280. Not more than that, because, keeping in mind the kind of bowling that they have and the fielding.
Okay, and if I can quickly get in Sabah Karim at this point. Sabah, can the chokers remove their tag today? A quick closing comment from you, Sabah, just because if we see on paper India have the 3-0 record, if Champions Trophy is to be considered and a head-to-head, will this be an advantage for India? As Kishore Bhimani as well said, his mind and heart both are saying Team India today.
Well, there will be more pressure on South Africa. India need not think on those lines. That is quite irrelevant in my opinion. I think India has to work out their own plans. They need to work on their strength so that they're able to beat South Africa today. They need to analyze very well. They need to do some homework on South Africa's batting lineup. They also have to think of how to be more aggressive in the middle overs so that we can add another 20-25 runs if we bat first and set an imposing target for South Africa. So these are the areas the Indian team has to work on. India's bowling in the last game wasn't up to the mark. So what kind of plans they have in mind, all that we'll have to wait and watch. But I think India needs to be aggressive, not only in batting, but also with their field placements and with their mindset. I thought India in the last game just a wee bit defensive. So I think India needs to change that and bring in some more fresh plans so that they're able to beat South Africa today.
Okay, and of course, as a loyal Indian, Sabah in all blue there, standing outside the Oval, all in blue. So let's hope the men in blue make us proud and, of course, end up winning this match. It's a virtual quarterfinal, do-or-die moment. All the best to Team India. Thanks to all our guests for joining us. It's time for a very quick break. Don't go anywhere.